FIFA 18, not far away, September sometime.
It's going to be better than FIFA 17 because it's one of the worst FIFA games ever made. Just got to make sure I put that in there. Sorry, go on.
Worst games ever
No, it's
made.
one of the worst FIFA games ever made.
You said worst games.
No,
and I was on the
worst FIFA games. Easily.
Before the monumental change in FIFA 10, 11, 12.
You're thinking of 12.
Monumental change in FIFA was needed at that point. And Jason thinks we might need to revert back to the change because he did not like FIFA.
16's a better game.
I like 16 better, to be honest.
It's subjective.
There were certain things. I played FIFA 17 recently against people that I used to play against in college and used to be able to maintain, and I got absolutely devoured. Just sent to the stands and back with a hot dog, man. I was just like, see you later, I'm done. It was awful. I just couldn't take it. Because remember the glory days when I used to be able to keep up with these guys. But that's because me not practicing as much.
We're not good losers either.
And it's certain things I didn't like that you need to be more accurate with the passes. I like my computerized guys computerized to pass it. Even if it's cleverly, just put it where I want it to go. But in 17, you have to direct it. So let's hope 18 makes those changes. But Jason, the whole reason we're talking about FIFA 18 is because it's time to start jumping way ahead and assuming what the ratings are going to be based on what the internet assumes the ratings are going to be and what everyone thinks is going to be the biggest and best FIFA rated player in FIFA 18. It's not even a conversation. We know who it's going to be.
Diego Maradona, actually. He's in the game, him and Pele.
I am so excited to see Diego Maradona play. It's been Pele's been in it before, but I'm excited to see I'm excited to get my hands on Maradona in the FIFA sense. I'm excited to get my hands on the balls around Maradona.
Nice. We have some cards. They're not necessarily in exact order, but this is as voted on by the community of who scored, and I also think Foothead, F-U-T head. I think there's far too many in the 90s, but because you're going to see more of them. But Lewandowski being a 92 is a rather high amount considering the most important ones you would probably see is I think Ronaldo's going to be a 94 and Messi will be a 93.
Yeah.
I think it's going to send some shockwaves through the world. But I think these are a little on the high end, and it gets more interesting down the line, by the way, because it's how many of these guys get the 90 rating or higher is the big tipping point.
Yeah.
Right. And usually there's only what 8, 9-ish players.
90 is the big, like your Ballon d'Or's right there. If you win that in your career, that's fine. But if you get a 90 on FIFA,
it's bigger.
You've
it's a
made
bigger
it.
thing.
You've definitely made it. I'm in complete agreement. Whether or not they do it or not, I don't know. I think it's going to be a year-by-year basis. Of course, if someone has a Jamie Vardy season, you're not going to suddenly jump him up like he did last year to a 92. You just base it on how much they've progressed. But when you've got Messi and Ronaldo who are consistently in the 93, 94, at some point you have to differentiate them based on the year. Cristiano Ronaldo had a better year. He did last year as well. So it just comes down to that you've got to give him a little bit. You got to give him the respect he deserves. It's just it's more of a recency bias than anything else when it comes to FIFA. That's why the game's changed. But overall, you know my thoughts. I still think Messi's the greatest player of all time. But you got to give the man his credit. He's been remarkable, and so is Messi. But Ronaldo this year has just been sublime and deserves that slightly more rating.
What about like Sergio Ramos?
All right, what's he at?
I don't know. I think on the next card. I'm just hoping he is. Is he? No, he's not.
Gareth Bale. Interesting.
Well, when he's healthy, but I thought Pogba, Francis's favorite $400 billion transfer. I like how Griezmann is severely underrated, less than De Bruyne and the same as Pogba. Do you think Griezmann and Pogba should have the same rating?
No, but this is where people who vote are stupid. Because they'll vote a lot for players that they want. Like if you've got Sergio Aguero up there as an 88 based on the season he had, then I disagree with that. And if you've got Toni Kroos sitting there on a 90, then let me ask you one thing. Where is the Batman to him being the Robin? Where is the best central midfielder in the world? Luka Modric. I don't see him.
I think he's on the next card.
Oh, well, I just don't see him in that card. Therefore, I'm upset.
I think he might be on the next card.
Therefore, I'm upset. Because if you're going to vote it based on that, if you're telling me that Mesut Ozil is of a higher rating than Luka Modric.
I need a flashback within this own video for the editors. Back to you saying, if you vote, you're stupid.
Yes, very much so. This is where people who vote are stupid. Because they'll vote a lot for players that they want. Like, you vote based on your fandom.
The antithesis of every video you've ever made on Facebook. If you vote, you're stupid. The antithesis.
Yes, exactly.
Can't say the word.
I will take it back. You're not stupid, but if you vote based on just because you're an Arsenal fan and suddenly you think that Mesut Ozil should be of a higher rating than Luka Modric, then you're stupid. Come on, Modric is the best central midfielder, definitely this season.
Mesut Ozil votes. He's stupid. Is that what you're saying? I'm not following your logic here.
If he votes for himself.
Mesut Ozil votes for Sergio Aguero. They're both stupid. We have one more card of ratings because once you get below like 86, it's everybody. It's literally everybody else. I left Harry Kane. Coutinho is right below him at an 87, according to the voting. And I'm not surprised that people vote on the higher end, right? Because I think a lot of it has to do with favorite players, and I think also a lot of it has to do with year over year. They're not looking at it as last year FIFA 16 compared to this year. They're not looking at the full season. So like Icardi did have a very good season. I don't know if he's an 87, and FIFA tends to be on the lower end. So I think if you actually were to drop almost every single rating across the board for this 2, you'd be pretty close.
Yeah.
Like Lewandowski, I think, is an 89, not a 91.
No.
I think Aguero's an 87 based off this last season, maybe an 86.
I'd say about an 87. Yeah, it's hard to try to get someone into that 90 category when you look at them in the past FIFA games. Of course, Ronaldo and Messi are always there, but Zlatan was a 90 at one point after a remarkable season because he's Zlatan. Arjen Robin was 90 at one point when he was at the peak of his career as well, when he wasn't injured. So yeah, there's been some shockers in there. There's been some times where they've constantly underrepresented players. Like I would always say that Mascherano during his prime a couple years ago was not rated as, I think he was like an 85 or an 86 when there was centre defenders who are far superior than him on the ratings that couldn't even hold a torch to him.
What should Mbappe be? 82?
But no, I think you'll give him more. I think he's worthy of an 84, 85.
Will he be the highest rated FIFA player in 5 years?
Wow.
Who's the highest rated FIFA player in 5 years?
5 years.
Ronaldo. After Ronaldo.
5 years.
Possibly Mbappe. Yeah, Griezmann's still pretty young.
Griezmann will be still there or thereabouts. You could have a conversation about Griezmann, Neymar.
Oh, true, Neymar.
Mbappe, Neymar's only going to be, what, 28, 29 by then?
Probably cleverly.
Eden Hazard. I once was on Football Republic where I said that Eden Hazard was going to be the next Ballon d'Or winner to separate Ronaldo and Messi, and I immediately regretted that because I said that after his first season in the Premier League where he was remarkable, and then the next season, of course, he went missing.
There's a rundown here with a story called The Horrifying Human Version of SpongeBob.
I've seen that. Have you seen the image?
I have.
It's
Why wasn't
petrifying.
I invited to talk about this clip? There's not one person in this entire damn network who knows more about SpongeBob than me.
And I think the idea of the clip was you don't need to know SpongeBob to know that image is fucking petrifying.
It really was.
Who came up with that, man? Just ruined childhoods.
You know there was an entire MLB SpongeBob draft on the @MLB SpongeBob account, which is an entire baseball Twitter account devoted to SpongeBob memes.
You've been banned from Pop Trigger, Jason. That's why you weren't invited.
That's what this is? That Pop Trigger?
Yeah, it's Pop Trigger.
What the hell does that have to do with pop culture?
SpongeBob's pop culture. What are you talking about?
SpongeBob is all culture, not just pop culture.
Is it sports culture?
Yeah, man. There's NBA SpongeBob. There's FIFA SpongeBob. There's a lot. It's a lot of things. He does. See, Dan knows a lot about SpongeBob. He could have been invited on the clip to talk about it.
I think the idea was that you could get a guy on the street who's never watched a SpongeBob episode and just look at that image and go,
what kind of perspective would they bring?
They'd be, that image is so messed up. Why have you got someone looking like that?
Please throw in the images.
So bad.
What would you rate SpongeBob and Patrick in FIFA 18? Give Patrick an 88. Kind of long, starfish shaped, you know.
88. Is he a goalkeeper?
Yeah, SpongeBob's a central midfielder and he's like a, 84.
I love the best image on Twitter was someone just took an image of a sponge and an image of a starfish and went, how did you get from that to that? And then showed the real life version of them. And we're like, ah!
Oh, you have it saved. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh, that's what nightmares are made of. The Patrick. That Jason, Patrick Star would save everything in FIFA. Are you kidding?
Hey, Jason, is your childhood
huge?
Is your childhood traumatized now, Jason?
Not really. He kind of looks like the Thing from the Fantastic Four crossed with Batista from Guardians of the Galaxy 2.